Hello, grade 9 students. We have already discussed about ratio and proportion in our previous lesson. Today, let us try to solve problems involving ratio and proportion. So, these are the objectives. Solve problems involving ratios, solve for a missing number in a proportion, solve proportion problems, and use proportions to solve for missing lengths in figures that are similar. So, in this chapter, you may also use calculators. So, review. What is a ratio? Ratio is a comparison of two quantities using a quotient or fraction. The word 2 separates the numerator and the denominator quantities. So, the ratio of 12 to 17 translates 12 over 17. 12 is the numerator, 17 is the denominator. So, right. So, that means ratio is also written as a fraction. So unit ratio, a ratio with the denominator of 1. So the denominator is 1, it's called a unit ratio. So let us now try to solve problems involving ratios. A bin at a hardware store contains 120 washers and 85 bolts. Write the ratio of washers to bolts in simplest form. So the ratio of washers to bolts is equal to, can be written as a fraction, washers over bolts. So that means 120 over 85. So to write this in simplest form, just get the lowest term, the fraction, which is 24 over 17. Yes, that is now the answer. So express the ratio as a unit ratio, interpret the answer. So if 24 over 17, okay, divide natin yung 24 by 17, that's equivalent to 1.41 over 1. So divide mo lang yung 24 by 17, which is 1.41, and the denominator is 1. That is what we call a unit ratio. So there are 1.41 washers for every bolt. Another, the price of a 10.5 ounce can of soap is $1.68. Write the unit ratio that expresses the price to weight. So the ratio of price to weight can be written as a fraction, price over weight. So that is 1.68 over 10.5. So if you're going to express this to lowest term, or in unit ratio, just divide 1.68 by 10.5. That is equivalent to 0.16 over 1. So interpret the answer. The soap costs $0.16 per ounce. Okay, let's proceed to the next. One molecule of glucose contains 6 carbon atoms, 12 hydrogen atoms, and 6 oxygen atoms. What is the ratio of hydrogen atoms to the total number of atoms in the molecule? Okay, what is the total number of atoms in the atoms in the molecule? 6 plus 12 plus 6 is 24. So the ratio of hydrogen atoms to total atoms is hydrogen atoms over total atoms, 12 over 24. That is equivalent to 1/2. Okay, that's now the answer, lowest term. Now let's proceed to proportions. Proportion states that two ratios are equal, or two ratios set equal. So if two ratios are equal, then it's what we call a proportion. Example, 6 over 8 is equal to 3/4. That is a proportion, because if you get the lowest term of 6 over 8, it's equal to 3/4. And if we're going to cross multiply, 4 times 6 is 24, 8 times 3 is also 24. So if the product, when you cross multiply, is equal, that means it is a proportion. So cross products of proportions are always equal. Only works if there is an equal sign. How about this? 6 over 8 is equal times 3/4. Okay? No, hindi pwede yan. Solving proportions, calculate the cross products. Set the cross products equal to each other and solve the equation. 3/5 is equal to x over 8. What is x? So solve for x, just cross products, just cross multiply. 8 times 3 is 24. 5 times x is 5x. So therefore 5x is equal to 24. And from that, we can divide both sides by 5. X is equal to 24 over 5. That's now the answer. Next, okay, always remember the steps. Calculate the cross product, set the cross products equal, solve the equation. 12 over 20 is equal to 18 over x. What is x? 12 times x, 12x. 18 times 20, 360. 12x is equal to 360. Divide both sides by 12. X is equal to 30. How about this? 2 pips over 4.5 is equal to 7 and 2/3 over m. What is m? Calculate the cross products. 2 pips times m is 2 pips m. 4.5 times 7 and 2/3 equal to 9 halves times 23 over 3. It's equivalent to 23 times 3 over 2. 69 over 2. Yeah. So let us now equate. 2 pips m is equal to 69 over 2. Multiply by reciprocal. Or divide both sides by 2 pips. That means in short, multiply 69 halves by the reciprocal of 2 pips, 5 halves. So 5 halves times 2 pips is 1. 5 halves times 69 halves is 1 yan. So dito naman 69 times 5 is 345 over 4. Therefore m is equal to 345 over 4. Or mixed fraction 86 and 1/4. Or pag decimal 86.25. How about this? X plus 5 over 6 equals 7/3. Calculate the cross products. 3 times x plus 5 is equal to 42. Next, set the cross products equal. 3x plus 15 equals 42 by distributive property of multiplication. Then subtract both sides by 15. 3x equal to 27. Divide both sides by 3. Let us now solve the equation. X equal to 9. So x equal to 9 to make the proportion equal. To make the ratios equal. Now let us solve proportions here with the following word problems. Gary notices that his water bill was $24.80 per 600 cubic feet of water. At that rate, what would the charges be for 940 cubic feet of water? So ratio will be dollars over cubic feet. So that means 24.80 over 600 is equal to x. What is the rate? When the cubic feet of water is 940. So that will be our equation now. Cross products. 24.80 times 940 is 23,312. X times 600 is 600x. Set the ratios equal. 600x equal to 23,312. Divide both sides by 600. Solve the equation. That means 38.85. So his water bill will be 38.85 when the water bill, the water is 940 cubic feet. Chevrolet estimates that its 2012 Tahoe will travel 520 miles on one tank of gas. If the tank of the Tahoe holds 26 gallons, how far can a driver expect to travel on 20 gallons? Our ratio, miles over gallon, is 520 over 26. Now, how far can a driver expect to travel on 20 gallons? So, this will be our equation. 520 over 26 equals x over 20. Next, cross products. 520 times 20 is 10,400. X times 26 is 26x. Okay, equate the cross products. 26x equals 10,400. Divide both sides by 26. 400 miles. So for 20 gallons, it will travel 400 miles. Congruent angles are angles that have the same measure. The symbol for congruent is ganun. Mayroon kanyang equal sign plus yung similarity sign at the top. Similar figures are figures with congruent angles and proportional side lengths. The two figures are similar. Find the missing length. So if the two triangles are similar in the given figure here, that means their angles are equal. At the same time, their sides are proportional. So we can be able to form an equation here. The corresponding sides are proportional. That means 8 over x equals 10 over 5 if we want to solve for x. 10 over 5 is equal to 8 over x, or 8 over x equals 10 over 5. And from that, we can be able to solve by cross multiplication. 10x equals 40. Divide both sides by 10, therefore x is equal to 4. So that's the use of one of the uses of proportions, solving for the unknown side in among similar triangles. Another similar figures. The two figures are similar. Find the missing lengths. Round your answer to the nearest hundredths. So in the bigger trapezoid, the sides are 12.8 kilometers, x, y. And for the smaller trapezoid, 10.5 kilometers, 6.5 kilometers, 6.5 kilometers, and 4.6 kilometers. So find x and y. That's easy. Since they are similar, you can be able to form proportion to solve for x and y. So large over small, that means 12.8 divided by 12.8 over 6.5 is equal to x over 10.5. That will be our equation to solve for x. Cross multiply. 12.8 times 10.5 is 134.4. X times 6.5 is 6.5x. 6.5x equals 134.4. Divide both sides by 6.5. X is equal to 20.68 kilometers. How about y? 12.8 over 6.5 is equal to y over 4.6. Okay, the corresponding side ng y is 4.6. Corresponding side of x is 10.5. So by cross multiplication, we have 58.88, the product of 12.8 and 4.6, 6.5y. Therefore, 6.5y equals 58.88. Divide both sides by 6.5. 58.88 is divided by 6.5 is 9.06 kilometers. Is the value of y. That ends our discussion on solving problems involving ratio and proportion. Goodbye, I'll see you next time.